Say it. Say, I never give up. I never give up. I like myself and I never give up. Everyone here is either a self-made millionaire or you intend to be in the future. Is that correct? This goal, my dream was to be a millionaire when I grew up. I learned some wonderful things that they're so simple, it means that everybody can become wealthy. And I'm going to give you 7 keys to becoming an outstanding leader and to becoming one of the highest paid people in our society and becoming wealthy. And their wonderful thing is they're not complicated. All you have to do is do simple things. What they found in the first major studies of thousands of self-made millionaires, what is your secret? What did you do differently? And they all said something similar. The reason for that is this, as Jim Rohn used to say, it's not becoming a millionaire, it's the person that you must become in order to become a millionaire. Yeah. You have to become a completely different person. You have to develop character beyond 99% of the people in the world. And here's the turning point. It is make a decision. Make a decision that I'm going to become wealthy. I'm going to become a millionaire. And I will work hard, long hours. I will sacrifice. I will pay the price. I will do everything that is necessary. And I realized at the age of 36 that I'd wished and hoped and prayed, but I never made a decision. Oh yeah, maybe someday it'll happen. Maybe there'll be a miracle on something. And then I found that the 2 things that millionaires say, number 1 is I was not more talented or smarter. I didn't get better grades than other people, but I was willing to work harder than anyone else. I was willing to work harder, start earlier, work harder, stay later than anyone else. And you know, self-made millionaires on average work about 59 hours a week. They work about 6 days a week at 10 hours a day. There are very few wealthy people who work 5 days a week. In fact, there probably aren't any. They may work 5 days a week, but it's way after they've achieved their financial goals. The second thing is that they were frugal. Is they earned the money, but they didn't spend it all. 87% of millionaires and billionaires are self-made. They started with nothing. And nobody's smarter than you, and nobody's better than you. Nobody's smarter than you, nobody's better than you. If somebody else can do it, especially with all the disadvantages that many people start off with, if someone else can do it, you can do it as well. That's the proof. Abraham Lincoln once said that some become wealthy is proof that all can become wealthy. It's proof. They started with nothing and they became wealthy. Well, there's the proof. You can do it as well. Just do the same things over and over again. So I wanted to share with you what I call the 7 C's. So the first C is the C of clarity. Clarity is my favorite word in success. It's my favorite word in business. I have done consulting for more than 1,000 corporations, large companies worldwide. And I've also worked with more than 10,000 small and medium-sized companies. And what I found is in every single situation, problems occur when the company becomes unclear about what it is they're doing or how it is they're doing it. And so I've developed a program, which is really just a fun program for me intellectually. It's called the Two-Day Mba. And it shows 10 different factors of a company. I find that all problems come from lack of clarity. What is your product? Who is your customer? What does your customer consider to be more valuable than anything else? How are you superior to your competitors? What can you do to attract more customers? But basically, it's clarity, lack of clarity. Always work from a list. If you don't work from a list, it's very much like taking your hands off the wheel of your car, going down a winding road in the mountains. What happens is your life's going to go up and you're instantly going to start doing irrelevant and unimportant and useless things. And at the end of the day, you'll be exhausted and you'll have accomplished nothing. And so therefore, clarity is really important. We say in life that in life you have turning points. And I have written and published now 86 books because I developed a formula for writing and publishing books. So people say, well, how can you write so many books? And I said, well, I have a system. I use a system like a recipe in the kitchen. And I follow the recipe. And the system requires clarity. What is the book about? Who is the book for? What are the subjects in the book that are not covered somewhere else. What is the system and methodology and process? I don't write fiction books. I only write nonfiction, which are basically do this and get this result. So anyway, going back to my Two-Day Mba, what I'd found was that the number one reason why businesses are not successful, we're not talking about Fortune 500 companies, we're talking about one-person business. They're not clear about every step of the business because they don't think on paper. Think on paper. The most powerful tool in the world is you, a pen, and a piece of paper. This is the greatest wealth creator in the world. Make notes all the time. Make notes, make notes. Now, what I found is that if you write it down, it records into your brain, and your chances are you'll remember it. Write your goals down on paper, and write them down in the present tense as though you had already achieved them. I am a self-made millionaire by January 1st, 2025. In other words, write it down as though it were already a fact, and you're just reporting it. You're just reporting the fact. Your subconscious mind is marvelous, but what it does is it only thrives on goals that you pronounce in the now. Your brain knows that you're only earning this amount of money. Your brain knows that you're not a millionaire, but now you're saying, I am a millionaire. And so your brain goes to work to close this gap between where you are and where you want to be. And your brain starts to work 24 hours a day. And it works and it gives you ideas. Each person here has a what is called the superconscious mind. And this mind has been talked about for 5,000 years, whatever it happens to be. But there's this incredible power in the universe that you can tap into. You could just reach into it by simply writing down a goal clearly on a piece of paper, and then this mind goes to work 24 hours a day to bring it into your life. You all read the books about the law of attraction and so on. Well, the fact is that once you are clear on a goal and you write it down, not type it, but write it down, you force this energy field of attraction, and it starts to pull into your life everything that you need to make the goal clear. But if it's not in writing, not a darn thing happens. Just do one thing for me, is write down your goals. It will save you 10 to 20 years of hard work. Your life will transform. It's almost like taking some magic elixir. Your whole life will be different. Every person has a turning point, and the turning point comes when you set upon a major goal. And since you're going to be working for money in business all your life, you might as well set a goal to earn a lot of money. You see, in life you can earn a lot or you can earn a little. And if you have a choice, I recommend to you that you choose a lot. Okay? Because if you don't choose a lot, by default, you automatically get a little. And this 80% of the population out there is wandering around and complaining about successful people. Wah, 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 life's not fair. Once you are clear about your goal, you start to see all kinds of opportunities, things that you can do that you hadn't thought of doing that move you faster toward the goal and move the goal toward you. You activate this field of magnetism and you start to attract into your life people and circumstances who help you to achieve the goal, and you help to achieve their goals. I mean, it's the most amazing thing. And it is true, and it has been true for thousands of years, and it is the great secret of success. So let us talk about the 7 C's. Number 1 C is clarity, which means what you want in life, what kind of a person you are, what you believe in, what's important to you, what you care about. You'll never be successful unless you're doing something that you enjoy and doing it well. Napoleon Hill threw this contribution onto the table in 1936. He said, do something that you love and do it well, and you'll never work another day for the rest of your life. You just never work again because you could hardly wait to get to work. You could hardly wait to do it because you love it. A turning point in my life took place in about 1987, and I attended a seminar, and the speaker at the seminar talked about the importance of self-esteem. And what he said is your self-esteem is defined as how much you like yourself. And the more you like yourself, the more you like other people. And the more you like yourself, the more confidence you have, and the more willing you are to try different things. And the more you like yourself, the less afraid you are of making mistakes. So you're willing to take chances with the possibility that you won't be successful. And the way that you build up your self-esteem is you simply say, I like myself. I like myself. I like myself. Say it, I like myself. No. Don't suck your thumbs. Say it. Say, I like myself. Yeah. Wonderful. And the most powerful thing that you can do in this business is to help other people like themselves. And how do you help other people like themselves? You treat them well. You practice the golden rule. You treat them the way you would like other people to treat you. And so they feel valuable and important. And they want to be around you, and they want to accept your guidance. The greatest thing that you can do for your children is to raise them up so they're self-confident and have high self-esteem. So they like themselves and value themselves and consider themselves to be worthwhile people. Isn't that true? And that's the most important thing in the world. If you have a good relationship, you laugh a lot. People in a good relationship laugh all the time. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. But it's so true. Isn't that true? Because you can only laugh spontaneously. You cannot decide to laugh or plan to laugh or decide how long you're going to laugh. It can only happen spontaneously. It has to come from your heart. It has to come from your mind. So anyway, I'm getting off track. Number one is clarity. So here are the 7 keys. These 7 keys will make you rich. Key number 1 is to decide exactly what you want. Decide exactly what you want. And the great majority of people really don't know what they want. They want to be rich, but what does that mean? How much is that? When? How soon? What are you going to do to get it? So decide exactly what you want. Number 2 is write it down. Write it down, write it down, write it down. There's nothing more important than writing down your goals. Because if it's not written down, it's merely a fantasy. Now, they've done a whole series of studies at Harvard and Yale and Cornell and so on about the difference between students who type their notes and students who write their notes. The students who write their notes all get straight A's. The students who type their notes forget everything before the end of the day. Because writing forces you to use 3 abilities: your kinesthetic ability, your physical ability of writing, your audio ability, you see it when you're writing, and your auditory ability, you say it to yourself when you're writing. So you activate the 3 major parts of your brain simultaneously, like a laser beam from a space station, zap, onto a piece of paper, and your subconscious mind accepts it as a command, and your superconscious mind starts to work on it 24 hours a day. Just write it down, write it down. Your life will be different forever. So step number 1, decide what you want. Number 2, write it down. Number 3, set a deadline. Tell your subconscious when you want it. I want this by such and such a date. So every goal always ends with a use by date. In other words, I achieved this goal by this date. And you write it in the present tense. Step number 4 is make a list of everything that you can think of to do. Keep writing it down. And sometimes you'll think of something in the middle of the night, write it down, keep a pad of paper next to your bed and quickly write it down so you don't forget it. Just write it down. That's number 4, and this is really important. It's the great turning point, like a massive ship turning in the ocean. Your whole life starts to turn when you write down a list of the steps you're going to have to take. Step number 6 is to take action on your list. Take action on the most important thing on your list. Do something, launch, get going, do it now, do it immediately. Get up and do something. And this is going to make you rich, happy, popular, and thin. Number 7 is do something every day on your most important goal. Do something every day on your most important goal. And here's the exercise. Take a clean sheet of paper and write down goals and today's date, and then write down 10 goals that you would like to accomplish in the next 12 months. Don't worry about 2 years or 10 years or 5 years. Just 10 goals you'd like to accomplish in the next 12 months, and write them in the present tense. Almost like you're submitting an order. And just write down, I earn, I achieve. Whatever it happens to be, and the goals will be financial goals, family goals, physical goals, and so on. Write down 10. And then you take this list of 10, and you say, if I had a magic wand, and I could wave this magic wand, and I could have any one goal on my list within 24 hours, which one goal would have the greatest positive impact on my life? Which one goal? And go over it. And usually this will jump out at you. It'll jump out at you like a spider in a horror movie. It'll grab you. and put a circle around that goal. And that's a goal you transfer to a clean sheet of paper, and then you follow the 7 steps. Write it down, set a deadline, make a list of everything you have to do to accomplish it, organize the list into a checklist, take action, and then do something every day. If you'll just do this simple exercise, then you'll all be rich. You'll all be rich. Nothing can stop you but yourself. So the first C is the C of clarity. The second C is the C of competence. And the C of competence says it's very simple. You can only earn a lot of money if you're very good at what you do. Okay, what are the most important skills I need to have to be successful? Managing, motivating is an important skill. Leading, supervising, important skills. So what you do is you think, what are the skills that I will need to be in the top 10% of my field? You don't have to be in the top 1%. Just be in the top 10%, because there are no successful people who are not good at what they do. They are good at what they do, and they are good at what they do because they work at it all the time. But basically what it said was, studying the most successful people, so these people spend far more hours becoming good at what they do than average people. The other people don't do it. Everybody has natural abilities, but the ones who use those abilities transform themselves by really, really working hard at becoming good, one skill at a time. This is another thing that's really important. Don't try to be good at everything, because what happens is you just break down. You'll just overwhelm yourself, and you'll just give up. The third C is the C of concentration. The C of concentration is your ability to focus. It's your ability to focus single-mindedly on one thing at a time, and to work on that one task until it's complete. And to discipline yourself not to do anything else, or to become distracted by emails and bells and noises and things like that. It's just your ability to focus like a laser beam on a single task. This simple concept, and the concept is, once you have determined the most valuable and important thing you can do, start with that first and do only that task until it's complete. Now, the first time that you try to do this, you will find it's quite difficult. Napoleon Hill, his book Think and Grow Rich, gives you the answer, the master key to riches. Now you know the master key to riches is self-discipline. And what we have found is that the most successful people have come to that conclusion as well. That self-discipline is the master key to success. So for you to write down your goals and make a plan and set priorities and start with your most important task takes tremendous self-discipline. If you haven't done it up to now, it's so hard. But everything is hard before it's easy. And everything at the beginning is difficult, but later it becomes easy and automatic. You have to force yourself to discipline yourself at the beginning, but after that, it becomes easier, and you actually feel happy. So here's my question. If an athlete runs in a race and comes in first, what do they call this person? The winner. Exactly. I've studied this hundreds, thousands of hours. What it says is that when you win, when you come in as the winner, your body releases endorphins, which are called nature's happy drug. They make you happy. And dopamine, which is a form of energy that you get from a positive experience. So when you complete a task, your body releases these drugs and you feel happy. If you want to be happy, just start and complete a task. And you get a zip. Wow. Wow. You feel happy. When you discipline yourself to complete a task, you give yourself a buzz. Alfred Adler, one of the top psychologists of history, called this a positive addiction. He said if you start and complete a task, you get a buzz. And the buzz becomes addictive. You start thinking, no, I want that buzz again. The buzz is a positive addiction that makes you happy when you do it. So every time you start and complete a task, you feel like a winner. So those are the first three. Clarity, be absolutely clear about your goals and what you need to do to achieve them. Competence, become very good at your tasks. And number three is concentration. Concentrate single-mindedly on your most important task and stay with it until it's complete. And I have taught these principles all over the world, but that's all that you need. Start and finish your most important task. Number four is constraints. The constraints that are holding you back from achieving the goal that you want to achieve. What is the constraint, the limiting factor between here and where you want to go? You want to achieve a particular goal. So you ask yourself, what is the one factor that determines the speed at which you achieve that goal? And don't try to change the world. Try to change one thing. That'll change your whole life. Number 5 is continuous learning and development. Dedicate yourself to becoming better and better at what you do. It must be a part of your life. You must breathe in, breathe out, and learn new things. Self-made millionaires, self-made billionaires spend 60 to 90 minutes every day studying their field. Warren Buffett reads 500 pages a day. Warren Buffett reads 5 to 8 hours a day. Warren Buffett reads 7 days a week. He reads all the time, and he's one of the richest men in the history of the world. You've got to read. Read and learn all the time. Number 6 is commitment. Commitment is really important. There's no success without commitment. Putting your whole heart into what you're doing for a long time. If you do, there is no limit on what you can accomplish. As you get up in the morning and you make a decision, I am going to succeed in this business no matter how long it takes, no matter how many hours a day. And number 7 is courage. Winston Churchill said, courage is rightly considered the foremost of the virtues, for upon it all others depend. And in courage, what you have is 2 parts. The first part of courage is the courage to begin, to launch, to take a chance, to face failure and rejection, to try something with a very great possibility that you will fail and you'll feel embarrassed and upset and your self-esteem will go down and so on. The second part of courage is persistence. It's the power to keep going and keep pushing yourself and driving yourself. What is your best quality? I thought about that. I think my best quality is that I never give up. I'm going to try something new. We'll take the losses and so on, but we'll never give up. So how do you develop this unshakable quality of persistence, which will guarantee your success in life? Nothing can stop you if you don't quit. Then the only alternative is you must succeed, and eventually you must succeed greatly. Well, the great rule, you become what you think about, you become what you say to yourself. So what you do is you say to yourself these magic words. You say, I never give up. Say it. Say, I never give up. I never give up. I never give up. I like myself and I never give up. You repeat that over and over and repeat it to your kids. I love you and you never give up. They will never give up. If you never give up, my promise to you, my guarantee to you, is that you are going to be an enormous success in the months and years ahead. And I hope you are. Thank you very much. Thank you.